Hi, and welcome back to the dojo. Today we're going to take a deeper dive into image generation, and I'm going to focus mostly on Gemini's Nano Banana, because everybody has access to it if you have a Gmail account. By the end of this video, you should be able to generate images that look exactly how you want them to look. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. So let's head on over to the Gemini app. And if we're going to create images, you're going to click the plus sign and select Create Image, or collect images on the side panel. Now, let's put in our first prompt. An iguana wearing a karate gi. And I'll hit go to generate the image. And let's see what we end up with. And as you see, we ended up with exactly what we asked for, an iguana wearing a karate gi. However, if you take a close look, what you'll notice is we didn't specify to put him in a dojo with a wooden floor, for instance, but the AI did that by itself. It does this because it generates the images based on what it considers to be average. If it's wearing a karate gi, then it probably belongs in a karate dojo. Now, if we want more control, we have to be more descriptive. Here's a prompt I created earlier. An 8-bit video game style iguana wearing a karate gi standing on a rock next to a river with an open field behind him while the water bubbles downriver. Let's give that one a try and see what we end up with. And there it is. And what you might notice is because we said 8-bit video game style, the AI, again, because it's working on averages, actually included a life meter and a score as if it was an 8-bit video game. But we don't really want an 8-bit video game. We just wanted the iguana to be in that style. And we don't necessarily want the rest of the scene to be in the style of an 8-bit video game. We may want it to look completely different. So let's try a different one. Now here's another prompt I created earlier. Let's paste it in. Now this one's very detailed. You'll notice that I specify 6-foot tall 8-bit video game style iguana, but I also specify in here that it's a 4K photorealistic world next to a river with an open field behind them. And I also specify the warm golden hour lighting effect, and that I want it photographed as cover for a book. Let's see what we get when we run this one. And here's the image it generated for us. Now let's take a closer look at what some of these terms did. Again, the photography term of f1.8 aperture on a 200mm zoom lens, that ended up giving us a nice in-focus iguana with a nice blurry background, highlighting the subject of our photo. The next thing I want to point out is that the warm golden hour lighting effect gave us this lovely orangey sunset. And then finally, one of the things I do want to mention as well is that I mentioned it to be photographed as the cover for a book. And so the AI, thinking this is a book cover, decided to add a title completely randomly. We didn't ask for. Why did it hallucinate a title? Because again, it's trained on the average for everything. So let's see how we can get even greater control by introducing the JSON format. Now, I'm not talking about a person named Jason. I'm talking about a coding structure, JSON, or JavaScript Object Notation. Let's take a closer look at how we can use it to control the images and how they're generated. All right, so let's paste in this fourth prompt that I created and hit go. And let's see what we end up with, and then we'll take a closer look at it when it's all done. And finally, here's the image that gets generated with that prompt. Now, let's take a closer look at that prompt, shall we? So one of the things you're going to notice about JSON format is that it breaks it up into groupings. So we've broken it up into subject, environment, lighting and atmosphere, camera settings, and composition and intent. By doing it this way, it gives us greater control over changing just certain aspects of the image. So for instance, if I want to come in here and replace the lighting and atmosphere, which is set up for summer and sunset, with more of a winter day, and now we can copy this prompt in, and we'll put it into our prompt box and hit go. And let's see what the result is with this one. And voila, instead of a bright sunny day, we now have the same iguana standing on the same rock but now it's cold, wintry day, and the color scheme is all different. So if you want to generate better images, it's probably a good idea to learn a few terms from the marketing world and from the photography world to help you describe exactly what you're trying to produce. And here's a shortcut if you're having difficulty. Here's a photograph I took back in 2019. Say, for example, you wanted another image that had a similar type of look and feel to it. One of the ways to figure out exactly the right wording for that is as follows. All right, so let's open up a new Gemini window, and we're going to drop in the image, and we're going to ask Nano Banana to generate a JSON document detailing the description of this image, and hit go. And here's the JSON describing the image. So we're going to make a copy of that. I'm going to switch to image generation mode, and I'm going to paste in the prompt. And I'm going to change the color of the convertible to blue and hit go. This should generate basically the same image, but now we're going to have a blue convertible. And there you go. Blue Mustang, just like we asked for. And now we also have the JSON description of this image. What does that give us? Well, let's start a new prompt. And we're going to ask to do some image generation. And I'm going to paste in that exact same prompt that we just generated from the image and hit go. Let's see what it gives us. And the result, the JSON document described exactly the same type of image. A blue Mustang, convertible, driving down the street with people behind and a bus stop. So if you ever see an image that you like the look of, you need only feed it into Gemini and ask it how to describe that image, and then you can use that description to generate the image that you're interested in. Hopefully this video gives you some ideas on how to take better control of your AI image generation. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe below for more videos, and we'll catch you next time.